Calling to order April's business meeting for the Borough of Conshohocken. Let's do a roll call to start with.
Councilmember Chmielewski.
Present.
Councilmember Cerna.
Here.
Councilmember Barton.
Here.
Councilmember Elam.
Here.
Councilmember Fry.
Here.
Vice President Kingsley.
Here.
President Sokolowski.
Here.
And Mayor Aronson.
Here.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, everybody. So we've got a robust agenda here this evening. Before we get started, let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. First item on the agenda is any president announcements. So it looks like we haven't received any public comments or follow-up for the April 2nd meeting regarding tonight's meeting at all. Brittany, did you get anything emailed? Okay. Anyone get any feedback from anything?
No.
Okay, great. All right, hearing nothing, we'll move on to public comment. We're looking for any public comment this evening related to any of our agenda items for this evening. Agenda items only for this portion of the meeting. Okay, hearing no public comment, we will move right along to our first presentation. So very exciting. We are swearing in a new patrol officer, Officer Gabriel Rossi. So I will invite our Mayor Aronson, Chief Lennon, and Officer Rossi to come up to the podium for the swearing in. And if you have someone that you want us to hold the Bible for you.
That I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that I will discharge the duties of my office.
Congratulations and welcome.
Welcome aboard.
All right, our photographer is going to take a whole bunch of pictures to celebrate this wonderful event.
We're moving.
Big smiles. Wait, this is exciting.
Who's watching the street?
Whatever. We all know he has an ego. That's not new.
And then I don't know if the family wants to come up and do a picture, or if you want to do one before we move on.
Yeah, do one.
We like our pictures. This is exciting.
Go ahead, go ahead. I mean, otherwise these meetings are pretty boring.
Got a smile for the camera.
Do you want me to take it with her so you can get it?
Sorry.
That's okay.
It's your day.
These are her highlights.
Sure, I needed that. Get all the angles. All right, guys, you're good.
Thank you.
Come on, Derek.
Get one with him outside.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next item on the agenda is under Land Use Matters, Public Hearings and Ordinances. First item is to consider authorizing advertisement of an ordinance on vacating a portion of a paper street and watercourse associated with the Italian Bakery, approved consolidation and subdivision of the application. So, Mr. Peters, do you want to just kind of go over what I just said?
Sure. It's part of the approval of a waiver of subdivision and land development for the Italian Bakery. One of the requirements was that the bakery work with the borough to address two areas, and you can see them on the screen. There's a red area, which underneath of which is a culvert that's part of the borough's public stormwater system. And then the blue is a more traditional paper alleyway that was never opened by the borough, and there's a desire just to clean up the ownership over that area as well. This is part of a two-step process, at least with respect to the culvert area. The first step would be to vacate that area such that it would automatically revert back to the property owner, which in both cases is the Italian Bakery. You'll see that the area to be vacated ends shy of where the bakery property actually ends to the top of the page there, because only one side of that portion of the alleyway is owned by the bakery. So we're keeping it clean, doing a vacation of the lower portion there. And then we have already drafted an easement agreement which formally and formalizes the borough's right to maintain the stormwater culvert there. So the vacation would not occur until that easement agreement is finalized and signed, and we would do it all as part of the same process. The blue, the paper street to the right, is much, much easier. It's just a little stub of a paper street that was never opened, and this will allow that portion to be cleaned up and revert back to the property. So that's what's being proposed. There is you can see to the top of the plan there is a garage over top of the culvert that is not associated with the bakery property. We are not addressing that as part of this because it was not part of the application, but you should be aware that it's there. And the easement agreement, which I will share with you when appropriate, addresses the fact that there is a portion of the bakery building that actually goes over that culvert. So we are finally formally addressing that fact. So tonight, what you are considering is authorizing advertisement of the vacation, which again is just the first part of cleaning up this part of this project.
Any questions for Mr. Peters related to these two items?
I do. Mike, the part of the alley that you're vacating, is that just the portion that's behind 613 Spring Mill? Because it also goes behind 615 and then wraps up to the street. It looks to me from that's all you're talking about.
Yeah, it would be, I think that's right. I can't see the address up there, but I think that you're correct.
Yeah, okay. It's just
it's just the portion associated with
their property.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly right.
Because the other part's been shut up forever.
Yeah, I mean, the blue is actually, like I said, it's more straightforward than the red because it's
Right.
it's pretty clear that the borough no longer has an interest in that. The red, we certainly do, because there's a culvert underneath, and this will finally formalize.
Right. I meant the alley, it goes behind the set of twins and it goes up, but it's been fenced off ever since I can
Yeah,
remember, so
yeah.
it doesn't matter. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
So I had a question. You said part of the building's already on top of that culvert?
is.
Where is that? Is that from like the top down? Like
No,
where is
no,
what
yeah,
part
good-
of the culvert
Good question. You
is it
can
over?
sort of see it where it comes across. But I don't even know how to describe to you
think I
where it
can
is. But if you see sort of if you look to the right, so you have the building. It's sort of like, I don't know, whatever shape it forms.
There you go.
A right angle. A portion of the building is over. If you follow the shorter building across, it goes across and connects into the building that's vertical.
So what percent is actually covered at this point? Do you, like
Percentage of the alleyway?
of the culvert is covered by the building?
Oh, the whole thing.
Oh,
In that area. it's-
yeah. I meant like the top to the bottom. Like,
Oh, whatever that.
the little
percentage-
piece is.
whatever that percentage.
And so then there's nothing that they can't build on top of the culvert? Or can they build on top of the
Their
culvert?
building's allowed to remain on top of the culvert. They are not allowed to build new. And what we're proposing in this easement agreement is that they would not be allowed to build anything new, encroach any further onto the culvert.
Okay, so whatever's there is there, whatever
Yes.
is not there cannot be built on.
You got it.
Okay,
Yep.
and then we would have access to the entire culvert as
Yeah,
needed?
we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll make sure you guys get a chance to look at that easement agreement, because it does impose some, not only are you securing the borough's right to access this culvert, you're also affirming the borough's obligations to maintain the culvert. So
Absolutely. Okay,
see it before it gets executed.
great, thank you.
Sure.
Council, have any other questions for Mr. Peters?
Nope.
Hearing no other questions, do I have a motion to authorize advertisement of an ordinance vacating a paper street and a watercourse associated with the Conshohocken Italian Bakery project, subject to final review and approval by the borough solicitor and borough manager?
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Looks like that's all we have under land use, so we will move on to our consent agenda. First item on the consent agenda is to approve and adopt the March 5th and March 19th regular meeting minutes. Any questions or comments about the minutes for those meetings in March? Hearing no questions, do I have a motion to approve March 5th and 19th regular meeting minutes?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item under the consent agenda is to approve the March ending treasurer's report and accounts payable. The treasurer report and accounts payable is in the amount of $1,608,848.17. Any questions? Hearing no questions, do I have a motion to approve the March ending treasurer's report?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item up on the agenda is under unfinished business. So this evening, we will be considering appointing an applicant to our Marywood Park Commission. That applicant is Jack Hassler. So what I would be looking for is a motion to appoint Jack Hassler to the Marywood Park Commission.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item under unfinished business is to consider awarding a bid for public space trash receptacles. So at our last meeting, we heard a little bit about our trash receptacle project. Anyone have any additional questions related to the trash receptacle project? Hearing no other questions, I need a motion to award the bid for the public space trash receptacles to Big Belly in the amount of $79,555.25.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item is to consider awarding a bid for the replacement of our A-field windows. Any questions related to the A field window replacements?
I just had a quick question. Is that just the building or does that include the locker room areas too? Or just the main building? Oh, the whole facility. Okay, I just wanted to double check.
32 windows.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Okay. So what I'm looking for is a motion to award the bid for the replacement windows at the A field to Joseph Del Buno, Inc. in the amount of $30,500.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item is to consider appointing special counsel to amend our police civil service regs and generate a fire civil service regulations. So we're looking for a motion to appoint Michael Miller of Eckert Seamans as our special counsel, and he will be amending our police civil service regs and generating new fire civil service regulations.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item is to consider authorizing advertisement of an RFP for bond counsel and financial advisory services related to our Public Safety Services Facility project. Any questions on the RFP advertisement or bond counsel? Hearing no questions, do I have a motion to authorize the advertisement for the RFP and the bond counsel and the financial advisory services related to the Public Safety Services Facility project?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item is to consider authorizing an advertisement of a bid for construction services for the Harry Street Road Improvement Project. Any questions on the Harry Street Road Improvement Project? Hearing no questions, do I have a motion to authorize our advertisement for bid?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item is to consider approving an agreement of sale between Conshohocken Fire Company Number 2 and the Borough of Conshohocken for the purchase of their current fire station. We've had a presentation or two on this arrangement. Any questions outstanding? Hearing no questions, do I have a motion to approve the agreement of sale between the Conshohocken Fire Company Number 2 and the Borough of Conshohocken for the purchase of the current fire station, subject to the final review and approval by the borough solicitor and borough manager?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that looks like it concludes our unfinished business this evening, so we will move on to our new business this evening. First item of new business is to consider approving a donation request from the Conshohocken Elementary Parent-Teacher Organization for their annual Spring Carnival. The last week or two, I received an email from the PTO group asking if Borough Council would approve a donation for the elementary school for their Spring Festival. So I said I would bring it to all of you to consider, and if we are in favor, we will make a donation to their PTO. And if anybody has a suggested donation amount.
I just want to put on the record that we do get requests like this, of this nature, throughout the course of the year, and usually we are not in a position to approve something like this because it's not contained within the budget. This request is slightly different because the borough and the Colonial School District have a mutual aid agreement already in place, and so that puts us in a position where we can draw upon community-related funds that we have in line item 400. So the money is there should you want to approve a request of this nature, and it is slightly different than any other request that comes in over the course of the year that we don't consider until the next fiscal year.
Have we ever donated? Sorry, go
Oh.
ahead. No, go.
Have we ever done this before?
We've not donated to the actual spring carnival. Now because of that mutual aid agreement, anytime they need to utilize any of our facilities, it is free of any cost. And likewise, if we need to utilize the Colonial School District facilities in any way, shape, or form of their services, it's also free cost to us. So the elementary school already utilizes a lot of our recreational resources that we have. And so this kind of just goes in hand with the partnership that currently exists between the borough and the school district and the kids that attend that elementary school.
They ask for a specific amount of money?
They didn't ask for a specific amount, but there is, in their request, they gave you kind of a range of what that activities cost, and it's really between 100 and 800 for each item. So if the borough was looking to kind of sponsor something that would really be impactful and meaningful to the kids of Conshohocken that attend that school, my recommendation from a budgetary perspective would be to give them the max of what it is that so they could get something that the kids will really enjoy. They are our kids that live in our borough. So I was suggesting, in speaking with all of you, that if we're looking at something around like the $1,000 range, that'll get them, unless you want to do something more.
I know a lot of the parents in the PTO. It's an extremely active elementary school. They put on great things. I'm actually in the dunk tank once a year for their.
When's
For
the
their,
date of that?
yeah, I know. None of you are invited, by the way. But I am in there for them during their field day, whatever it is, their activity day. So, yeah, I'm for as much of. I think, again, they do a lot for the school, for the kids who go there. It's really, really an active community within that PTO. So, my personal preference would be, again, as much as we can. Which is 1,000. More than for that.
Is everybody comfortable with 1,000?
Yes.
And how much is it to buy a ball to hit you off the dunk tank?
That would be a lot of money, and it would have to go directly to me.
I'll buy
that is not for
I'm
sale.
in.
That is not for sale at this point. It's only for the children. So.
They can get comps for tickets.
Yeah,
I
okay.
know a lot of people would sign up for that, but.
You offered the invite. Now we all know.
Good school. They invite me there. It is closed. There is no community involvement
practicing.
on the activity day. So
Can we stipulate that the money goes for a dunk tank and then Ralph gets in for the carnival?
Save this donation.
I only do it once a year, and I will be there for 8 years in a row, considering I have a second child who's going to start there, so she wants to do it as well. So
Right.
that's great.
All right.
1,000 it is.
Yeah.
So it sounds like everybody's comfortable donating and everybody's comfortable donating 1,000?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so based on that, do I have a motion to approve a $1,000 donation to the Conshohocken Elementary Parent-Teacher Organization for their carnival?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
All right.
All right, so Steph, will you reach back out
I
to
will reach
Elizabeth?
back out to Liz. I'll copy you on it since she
Okay.
reached out to you directly.
Would it be, is it a question to ask one of the activities, if we sponsor a specific activity?
I can ask when
Would that be-
when I send Liz the confirmation that you've approved it, I will ask that she just send confirmation as to what those funds eventually
Okay.
ultimately go to. So that
That'd
you're
be great.
clear. Thank you.
All right. Fun times. Another item under new business is to consider approving a resolution 2025-10, and this would authorize the submission of the Greenways, Trails, and Recreation Program Grant, GTRP, and that is with an application to put towards our Veterans Memorial Plaza Park project on 2nd Avenue. So we've been going through the process over the last year and a half or so where we've designed it, we've had the architectural drawings, we've gotten pricing, quoted pricing,
Yep.
not absolute pricing, and what we're looking for is to go after some grant funding to help support that project
That's
for
correct.
when we are getting ready to actually execute.
Yes, so we have an opinion of probable costs on file with our engineer. All the plans are being prepared for bidding this year, and then construction will start once those bids are received and awarded. We'll have, if this is approved this evening, then we'll have 3 grant applications out for this particular project in an effort to cover as much as those opinion of probable costs are, so we can get the project completed without having too much of a burden financially on the borough.
Great,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, any other questions on the Second Avenue Plaza Park project? All right, hearing no other additional questions, do I have a motion to approve the resolution 2025-10, which would authorize the submission of the GTRP grant application in the amount of $250,000 for our new Veterans Memorial Plaza project?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next item under new business is to consider accepting the resignation of a Friends of Conshohocken Parks member. So it looks like Mr. Adrian Kurtz needs to resign from the Friends of Conshohocken Park. So in order for that to actually become official, I just need a motion to accept the resignation.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item is to consider approving some zoning escrow releases. One for 140 East 6th Avenue, one for 224 Maple Street, one for 310 West 5th Avenue, one for 400 East 10th Avenue, and Millennium M4 Office Building. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to read them all and their amounts, and then we'll do one motion for all of them, if you don't mind. All right. So I'll be looking for a motion to approve 140 East 6th Avenue in the amount of $319.70 plus interest, 224 Maple Street in the amount of $303.64 plus interest, 310 West 5th Avenue in the amount of $305.83 plus interest, 400 East 10th Avenue in the amount of $1,069.70 plus interest, and lastly, Millennium M4 Office Building Development in the amount of $212.25 plus interest. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, that concludes our business items for this evening. Do we have any public comment about any of our agenda items or anything going on in the borough that you would like to discuss? Hearing no public comment, I will turn the microphone over to our mayor for his updates.
Thank you, President. We actually have history going on right now, this second. The Donna Frio Classic is happening at the community center. It's actually the finals are tomorrow night. But we are honored to continue to host and to see all the excitement and activity in the building. I saw so many interesting college shirts as I walked in on Monday. So congratulations to all the athletes that are participating, and we can't wait for next year. And then we had, leading up to our own Easter egg hunt this weekend, last weekend, we had Easter egg painting at the VFW. The Easter Bunny is probably someone well-known to everyone here. But it was a lot of fun, a lot of new faces in the building, and a lot of activities that Thomas enjoyed quite a bit. So thank you to VFW for hosting. And
Easter Bunny spotting, hopping down Spring Mill Avenue.
Yep, Spring Mill makes sense. The Easter flower sale is Friday from noon to 4, and then Saturday till sold out. It's at, I believe it's at Fire number 2, right? Yeah, it's at the fire company. So Sarah actually did it last year, and was blown away by how wonderful the flowers were. So please check it out and support our fire company. And then finally, I do just want to mention how extraordinary it is that we've been able to hire new officers the last few months. It is not easy to do. There's a lot of competition. I know this council standards are very high for our officers. I know Chief Lennon's standards are very high, and it's been a real team effort, especially by our chief, to get some really exciting new bodies into our department. So kudos to him, and we look forward to working with these new officers. That's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Fry, anything?
I'm good, thank you.
Nothing? Nothing?
Yes.
Councilperson Serna.
Yes. I would like to invite the community to come out to Greenfest on April 26th. It is a community event that the Conshohocken Environmental Advisory Council hosts, in which we have different booths that tell you about different environmental practices that you can do at home and ways that you can start these practices at home. It's going to be April 26th from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. at Marywood Park. You will see the tents outside, so just come out to the park.
Great. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Councilman Chmielewski, anything this evening?
Nothing for me.
All right. I would just say that the weather is nice. There's a lot of people out walking around, visiting our small businesses. Please remember, drive smartly, drive safely, follow the speed limits, and please stop at stop signs. Always being reinforced on both social media and by us. So with that, I think I will call this meeting adjourned. Oh, hold on. Just in the nick of time. Come on up.
How you doing? Ed Zale, West Elm Street, 200. Since I just heard you talking about traffic, I know at the last meeting, a person stood up and talked about road calming coming in, because at 13th Street, the sign is 35, and then at Antioch, it says reduce speed ahead. And the reduced speed aheads are but see, at 9th Street, that block, 10th Street has a 25. But 9th, nothing, 8th, nothing, 7th, yes. So coming down, once they see reduced speed ahead, then they don't see any, at 12, they don't see another, they see 25 at 12, but the 1100 block and the 900 block, there's no more 25s. So if you don't catch that one, the reduced speed ahead, you're not catching it until you get further down on 8th Street at the 800 block. So I'm not sure if that's what that person was talking about when traffic calming measures were going to be taken. Now, I noticed our neighbor, Plymouth Township, has their mobile signs up all over the township. April 30th, meeting, 6 to 8, town hall, traffic calming discussion. I was just wondering, just catching what you heard, has there any been discussion about traffic calming in Conchi?
Yes, so there's been lots of discussions about traffic calming in Conshohocken, and we've applied for several grants, and we've got some plans. And Steph, you want to kind of go into where we're at as of today?
Yes, so we have our traffic engineer has designed a road diet project for Fayette Street.
Okay.
And so that's engineered and basically shelf ready, and they've done numerous studies. They've applied for two multi-million-dollar grants, and we're waiting on notification if we are awarded those grants. And if we are awarded those grants, then we will go through the process of bringing that project back to Borough Council for discussion, potential approval, and then go through the process of public bidding in order to bring that project to fruition on Fayette Street.
Are they federal grants?
They are state grants.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Because if they're federal grants, Trump's not letting any dollars
We're
come.
hitting the state
Or
up
Democratic
hard.
Grants,
borough.
yes.
And just one passing, I mentioned it last week or 2 weeks, a month ago. West Elm, Oak, and Maple, you can't cross the street. Cipolloni's ripping up everything. My wife tried to cross the other day because the grandkids are down. You can't cross Maple and Elm, and then you go down to Oak and Elm, and you can't cross there either. And Cipollone has their equipment in the first two. When you come out of the parking lot, you come in, you go out. Their equipment's everywhere. You know, in the morning, in the afternoon, at lunchtime. You know, and I know it's a temporary inconvenience, but it really is a big inconvenience for the people that live there. And Alan, you probably know that, so you live down in that area. So, yeah, just a couple comments. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Sale. Can I just ask, I guess, the chief of police, since Fayette Street is a state road, are there regulations on how far speed limit signs should be from each other?
Yes, the issue that was brought up has been brought up before, it's been looked at, and has regulations that they can't be closer than a quarter of a mile apart, and all the signage on PennDOT conforms with, all the signage on Fayette Street conforms with what the PennDOT standard is. We can't put any more signage there. So what we did was paint the roadway, which we were able to do, and then enforce it, which we have done.
Can we do another one down further, paint it in the street?
We could definitely discuss it, yeah.
It's on the list for the Public Works Department to do over the summer.
Okay.
They're gonna paint more than 25 mile an hour on the road.
Okay.
They're actually in front of Masterpiece Road. That's one of the locations I know, and coming up Fayette Street, in 0 block across the street.
Okay,
Thank you. That'd be great.
awesome.
Whatever else?
Is there any temporary walkway solution while they're working or not really? Okay.
We understand that there's inconveniences, unfortunately, to get that project done. They are working tirelessly to meet that May deadline. And our engineer is on site inspecting.
Okay. All right. You're welcome. All right. Mr. Seal got in under the gavel. Meeting adjourned.